Welcome to Primary Science with Miss Devita. In this video, we're going to talk about plants' growth, and there are two focus questions that we're going to answer in this video. The first one, what do plants need to grow well? The second one, what can we do to measure plant growth? Let's start by answering the first focus question. What do plants need to grow? To answer the question, we're going to observe some pictures of plants. Now look at this picture. Is the plant growing well? You may notice that this plant is wilting because it's lack of water. The next one. Are these plants growing well? You may also notice that the leaves are yellow and dying because the leaves do not get enough sunlight. Plants need a few conditions to grow well. What are these conditions? In general, plants need the following things to grow well. The first one, the water. Second, the air. Third, the warmth. These three are the same conditions that the seeds need to germinate. But for the plants to grow well, it needs another thing. It is the light from the sun. Why plants need light to grow well? It's because the plant uses the light to make food. And look at the picture on the left. They are kept in a bright place. They are healthy. While the plants on the right, they are kept in dark place. They look so thin and pale, and they will wither and die when they cannot find the light because they fail to make their own food. And the process of green plants to make their own food is what we call with photosynthesis. Photosynthesis consists of two words. Photo means light. Synthesize means putting small parts together to make something more complex. So here's the plants use energy from the sunlight. From the sun. And also taking the carbon dioxide from the air and absorb the water from the soil. And as the result of the photosynthesis, the plants produce sugar or the foods that are stored in the parts of the plant, like in the leaves, in the stem, or in the fruits. And also it gives off a gas that we call as oxygen. Here comes the focus question number 2. What can we do to measure the plant's growth? There are two things that we can do. Well, the first one is measuring the height of a plant. To measure the height of a plant, we use a ruler. And the second one that we can do is measuring the mass of a plant. The tools that we can use to measure the mass of the plant is an electronic balance like this. And here's how we represent the changes in plant growth. Okay, we can use the graph. The first one is line graph. Here, line graph, or we can also use a bar chart like this. For example, let's have a look on the line graph. Okay, on week 1, the height was about 3 centimeters, and then in week 2, it grows into 7 centimeters. And then in week 3 it grows into the height of 13, and then until the day 6, on day 6, what's the height of the plant? Yes, on day 6 the plant is already 20 centimeters in height. So again, to represent the change in plant, we can use a line graph or a bar chart. And then we can also use the graph to compare plants' growth in two different conditions. Look, here's setup A. In setup A, if you have a look, this one, it was in a dark room. And then on setup B, it's the opposite one. It's in a bright room, right? And then you might see here, for setup A, or the dark one, they use the color of green, and for the bright room they use the color of orange. So here's on day 1, the height of both plants are the same. Yeah, it is to make the test becomes fair. So they make the height of the both plants the same, and then by day 3, the plants in setup A has become taller than the plant in setup B. This is because the plant in setup A has been growing taller to look for the light. Yeah, you'll see. We can compare it that the blue bar is higher than the orange bar, right? And then the next one, on day 6, the plant in setup A starts to decrease in height. This is because it has used up its food store and started to die. You'll see this one on day 6, and then by day 10, the plant in setup B has grown in height. However, the plant in setup A is dying. Yeah, because in setup A it has no light, so it cannot make their own food, and all of the food stored inside is already used up. That's why the plants in setup A eventually die, but the plants in setup B will grow well. We are almost come to the end of this video, and now it's time for us to sum up. That the first one, plants need light, water, air and warmth to grow well. And we can measure the plant growth by measuring the change in the plant's height or mass. And here comes a verse from the Holy Quran. It is He who sent down water or rain from the sky, and with it we bring forth vegetation of all kinds, and out of it we bring forth green stalks, from which we bring forth thick clustered grain. And out of the date palm and its base come forth clusters of dates hanging low and near, and gardens of grapes, olives, and pomegranates, with similars in kind, yet different in variety and taste. Look at the fruits when they begin to bear, and the ribbons thereof. Verily, in these things there are signs for people who believe. Thanks for watching. I hope you find a value in this video, and I'll see you on my next one.